Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Nadia Stearns, and I am the admin assistant at Pecos Valley Regional Education Cooperative 8. And today we are going to take a look into Excel and creating certain graphs and charts in Excel. We're going to learn how to insert them and how to format them. So to begin, what I'm first going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can go ahead and walk through the process together. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So in October, I did a training in Excel about creating simple spreadsheets and formatting them as tables. So this is one of the spreadsheets that I created or that we created during the training. So I'm going to go ahead and use that data from this spreadsheet to create the charts or the graph today that we're going to do. So as you can see right here, this is the data, and this is the graph or the chart that I created. So this is just your simple column chart that I created. So today we're going to go over the different types of charts that are offered in Excel, and we're going to try to recreate this chart. So we're going to go ahead and use the second 9 weeks. We're going to go and do second 9 weeks grading period and create a chart from here. So the first thing I want to do to insert a chart, well, the first thing we're going to do is go look at the different types of charts. So if you go to insert, right here in the middle, you'll see charts. And this is all the charts that Excel offers. So there's these insert, waterfall, funnel, stock, surface, radar charts. I'm not going to get too much into these because these are rarely used, especially in education, but these are the type of charts that they offer. Combo charts. So this is a combination of a bar graph or a column chart mixed with a line chart or a line graph. Then you've got a tree map and a sunburst. You've got your hierarchy, or no, these aren't your hierarchy. These are your stats charts, your histogram, box and whisker. You've got your scatter plots and your bubble charts right here. Again, just showing you the different types that they offer. These are, and the ones that we're going to focus on today are going to be the column and bar charts and the line charts and the pie chart. So here you have your column charts. So you have your clustered column chart. And so that is best when you are comparing several pieces of information. And the clustered one is really good when you're looking at maybe students' grades overall over a grading time period. And that's the one that we're going to be using today. Then you have your stacked column charts. And these are good when you're comparing data as a whole. So these would be great if you wanted to look at one student and compare how they're doing in different subjects. And then this is just another version of it. So these are the 2D column. These are 3D. As you can see, the only difference in these is going to be the visual. 2D, 3D, they're all the same. Then you've got your bar graphs. So your bar graphs are basically your column charts, but they're going to be horizontal, and they're going to be best when you're wanting to compare 3 or more categories. So even though today I'm going to be comparing 4 students, I'm still going to go ahead and use the column chart instead of using the bar graph, just because I feel like the column chart is what is mostly used. Then again, the difference between these two is going to be visual, 2D versus 3D. Then
I had no idea. Sorry. I had
no, yeah,
idea
right.
they offered all of these. I'm like, wow, I could have used all of this in the classroom.
Right.
Too late. That's good.
So then you have your line graphs. So these are a lot what you see when you get your testing reports back. This is a lot what you see. So you could actually create these within your own classroom with your own grades, you know, on your test grades, if you want to see throughout how they're doing from first semester to second semester, you can use these. Again, difference in visual, the 3D line or the 3D line versus 2D line. And then this is the area graphs. And then the last one that I'm going to go over is your pie chart. So these are the normal ones, that we know where you're wanting to look at proportions compared to a whole. So now that we've gone through all the ones, like I said, we're going to end up using a column chart. So the first thing we need to do is insert a chart, and there's actually several ways to do it. So the easiest way to do it is to select your data, and then you can go Alt F1, and it's going to automatically just insert the chart that Excel thinks will work the best. So that one's really simple. So I'm going to go ahead.
Sorry, Nadia. So it just takes all of those grades, and when you do Alt F1, it immediately turns it into a visual.
Yes. So I'm going to select all my data again and put Alt F1. So you hold down the Alt and press F1. So just to show you really quick the chart. So you can see I have all my students here. I have Donald Duck, Michael Jordan, Mickey Mouse, and Dak. Then I've got the grade percentages over here. And then each homework assignment has been color coded. So each bar stands for a certain homework and what the student got on it.
Work quiz. Nice. So you're just seeing a miniature of that, and then you can print that out.
Yes, you can. And of course you can make it bigger. And we'll go over some we'll go over some formattings in a minute. So that's an easy way to do it. You can also select the data again. Then you go to insert, where we went to go look at all the different charts a while ago. You can go to recommended charts, and it's going to show you all the charts for the information that you have, what would be best.
So you can pick which one you like better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So see, there's the bar graph, very similar to the column graph. So I'm going to choose this one. I like this one. That's the one that I'm going to choose. I feel like it looks clean. So I want to show you one difference between this chart and the chart that came up with the F1. So I have my data selected. And let's see if this will work. Do Alt F1. Okay, so I did Alt F1, right? Because my data is already selected. So this is the chart that it brought up on its own. I want you to see some differences. If you can see them really quick, they both have chart titles. They both have the grading percentages on the vertical axis, but down here, they broke it down by student. And then I have all these assignments that I'm trying to compare. Whereas this one has a chart title, the vertical axis, but it broke it down by homework assignment here, and then just gave me the columns of each student. So now I only have to compare 4 columns versus having to compare around 10 columns. So those, yeah, so those are some differences, things to look at when you're looking at inserting your chart. So since I like this one visually, I feel like it's not as busy. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one that first popped up. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and you can, so to move your chart wherever you want it in your spreadsheet, it's just like moving a text box or a picture. You click on it and you get that little crosshair symbol. I guess it's crosshair. I don't know what it is, but you get it and you can move your chart or your graph wherever you would like. So now that we have our chart inserted, I wanted to go over the different little buttons or the little different banners that pop up once you have a chart open. So obviously you click off the chart, you lose the buttons on the side, and you lose this chart. Can't remember what it's called, chart format or something. So you click on it, up pops these 3 little buttons, and now you have your chart design banner and your format banner. Does anyone have any questions so far about inserting or anything? No? Okay. So then we will move on. So right here on these buttons, this is going to be your chart elements. So the ones that are highlighted or have the check mark in the box, they're already on your graph. But you can add different elements. So for example, you can add access titles, and you can see it popped up there on the side by the numbers. And those are basically going to be labels for your vertical axis and your horizontal axis. And then you see, you can just like hover over to see what it's going to look like. So if I get off of it, it removes it. So I can see what it's going to look like before I choose to put it in. I like the access titles, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. That's what I want. You could do data labels. That's going to label your information. I'm going to choose not to because it looks too crowded. You can't read them.
Yeah.
If you choose to do data labels, you can click this right button, this right side button, and you can decide where you want that information to go. So as you can see, the numbers go to the center, the inside, outside, or inside in, inside base. So if you choose to do the data labels, you can also choose where they're going to be located.
Could you, on those data labels, like because it looks all jumbled like that, could you reduce the font size of those numbers to make?
Yes, so you can. So say we chose the data labels. I believe you can, because I know you can select. So see, when I double click,
Oh, yeah.
quickly pulls up each one of those. And then from here, you have options. So it doesn't look like you can maybe make them smaller. You can change a bunch of things from them, but it doesn't look like you can actually make them smaller.
Yeah.
So
I just wondered, because that might look nicer, you know.
okay. Oh, text options. So text options. Okay. So yeah, you can't seem to make the font smaller on those, but
Mhm.
change the color of them if you want it to. As far as on the text, you can change the color of them. You can see it change the color, but it does not look like you can change the size of them.
Okay.
So but that was a good question. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my chart element, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the data labels. Then there's a data table. So, oh, I didn't remove the data labels. Okay, the data table, I'm going to go ahead and leave it in there because I like the data table. So basically it's just this table on my chart now. So depending on, I'm making it bigger, sorry. Depending on what you're doing, you may not need this graph here, right? If you're going to put your chart along with your information on your same spreadsheet, you don't need the graph. It's kind of just repeating the information. But I'm going to go ahead and have it on there because I like the way it looks. Then you can have your error bar. The grid lines are those gray lines behind there. The legend is the color coded showing you Donald Duck is blue, Michael Jordan's orange, Mickey Mouse is gray, and Dak is gold. Then you can also add a trend line if you wanted to. So basically it's just going to be a line following certain points. So you can have your chart elements there. Then then you go and you have your chart styles. So as you can see, you have chart styles here, which is going to give you a bunch of different styles if you decide to go. So I'm going to go ahead, and I like the way that looks with the gray. So I'm going to go ahead and switch now to that one. But as you can see, like it added, when I chose this one, it now added the data labels back. So all I need to do is go back to chart elements, remove data labels, and now I no longer have them. So as you go and start to format, you may see that you find a style that you like the background, but maybe it has an element that you don't like. Then you can just remove it by going back to chart elements. So as you can see, chart styles are here. You can also change the color. If I don't like those, I can change it to this one. I can change it to this color. I'm just going to stick with what it has. Chart styles is here. Chart styles is also up here in this main part. So there's several different ways that you can go and change the style or format your chart. Chart styles up here. You can see now there's this black one. I actually kind of like that. So now I'm going to back and go back to that because I like that. But so you can do a lot of changing once you have the data. Again, you can change colors here. So you can change colors here. You can do it in the chart styles here. You can also change the layout really quickly by doing it here in a quick layout. So there's a lot of places for you to be able to format and change your chart. And then right here, we have chart filters. So this is where you can change what data that you look at is showing on the chart. So as you can see, if I choose like hover over Donald Duck, it just shows just Donald's and everyone else is kind of grayed out. So let's say for this chart, I decide that I just want to look at the averages. I don't want to see homework 1, homework 2, and the average. I just want to look at everyone's averages. So to unselect all the data, I go to select all. Then I'm going to go through and just select my averages. And I'm going to go to apply. Now it's changed my chart and it's just showing me the information that I want.
Like it. I have another question. So
Go ahead.
could you do in this section, like just highlight one student's grades and
Yes,
not
ma'am.
see the others?
Yes, ma'am. So, okay, I'm going to go back and select all. So I select all to select all the assignments. Now, so right here in this series, you have your students. So to deselect all the students, I press select all, and we're just going to look at Donald Ducks. Then I'm going to go to apply. And now I just Donald Ducks.
That's great because you don't have to do individual reports. You could just do it from here.
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
So another thing that you can do from here, so I'm going to select all, is that right now my homework assignments are on my horizontal axis and my and then my students are the bars, correct? If I go to select data here, I could, right here it says switch row or column. I can go ahead and switch that. So let me select all the students because I want all the students. But if I want to switch it and make it look like that first chart that we had pulled up, I go switch and did it switch? Hold on. Let me go back to select data. Now switch the rows. Okay, so now it's switched. But now it doesn't look as great, right? Because this table down here has all this information, whereas it used to just have the 4 students. But do you see how you can switch your information points just by switching that tab there? So you could do it there. And then also up here on the banner, there's just switch row and column. So there's basically 2 ways to do everything. You can use these buttons here, or you can use the chart design ribbons up here. It's whatever's easier for you. So, okay, I'm going to go back here and I'm looking at this. I like it, but I don't have a title, which I really want a title. And then I notice my legend. I like it there at the bottom, but if you see on legend here, you've got this right arrow. You can choose where you move it. Do you want it to the right? You can see it go to the right, the top, the left, or back on the bottom. I like it at the top. So I'm going to put it there. So now I feel like looking at my chart, I have all the elements that I want in there. I've got my chart title, my axis titles. I've got a little table, a data table that I want. I like the color scheme. So now we just need to go in and start labeling or customizing it a little bit more. So in order to put in the chart title, it's just a text box. You click in it, you backspace, and you can put in whatever title you want. Oops, well, I could spell weeks right. Okay. Then I need to go and change this axis title. Same thing. These are all text boxes. You click in them to change the writing, and then you also can move them wherever you would like. So it's very simple once you have your table set up to go in and add in any changes. So here I'm going to put grade percentages because that is what I have here, and down here, I'm going to go ahead and put assignments. Okay. So I feel like everything looks how I like it. Here, if you double click, maybe it's not popping up. Okay. So once you click on here, I think my computer froze. Okay. So if you double click on the chart, okay, there you go. You get these format options, and this allows you to play even more so with the formatting. Right here, I'm in the chart area. I can go in and change the filling, you know. So now you can even format it and customize it even more by double clicking on it. I can add a border to it. So there's a lot you can do formatting wise on these charts. Then you can also go ahead and click on the bars. Now you can customize the bars. You can change the color of certain bars if you decide you don't like that. You can add borders to the bars, transparency. I mean, you can really, really customize this, and you can kind of get lost in just kind of making it what you want. You can choose anything you click on, you can go. So I can go and I can move this. I can change it here as a whole. Let's see. Or I can select just Donald, and then I can just do Donald stuff. Okay, so any questions on formatting? It's a lot. It's very easy to format, but because there's so many different ways to format, and you can literally format everything on your chart or your graph, it can be very, very overwhelming, you know, or you can get
That would be my
formatting.
It was too many choices. I would think something prettier. And go
Yes,
all
that's the
day
hardest
long.
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the hardest part. And then, but like I said, formatting is easy only because Excel offers several different ways to format. You just, you know, find whatever works best for you. The banner right here is really easy because it basically says what it does. But you know, this right here is quick too, so you don't have to go up here. So the one thing I want to show you guys before we end is adding information to your graph. Okay, so say I've already set this up, it's in the middle of the school year, whatever, and I already have my graph set up, and then all of a sudden a new student comes in and I'm like, crap, I'm gonna have to like recreate this graph. Okay, so with this table here, so I'm going to show you the difference between adding information when you already have a table formatted in your spreadsheet versus having just data in a spreadsheet. So in this table, if I add Minnie Mouse, and I'm going to give her hundreds across the board. She came in and she's just doing awesome. So I'm going to give her hundreds. Okay. Now you can see, because it was a table, it automatically threw her information in there. Do you see Minnie Mouse is in there?
Mhm.
So
Did you still have that area highlighted when you were inputting her information?
yes. Yeah, so since once I'm on here, like if I click off, that information is not highlighted. Have you seen the background? As
Yeah.
I click on, it highlights the information.
Okay.
And since this is formatted as a table, it automatically grouped in Minnie Mouse with it. But now I want to show you if we add information or if we use information here that is not in a table. Okay, so if I add Minnie Mouse here, oh, not there. If I add her here, and you can see the difference, right? This isn't formatted, it's not a table. And I'm just going to drag her across. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to chart design. And I'm going to select data. Okay, so as you can see here, it's showing my chart data range and it's showing you it's highlighting this information. I don't want it to any longer pull information from that data. So I'm going to delete that. Then I'm going to go to this arrow. Now I want it to pull information from this table, okay? And I'm going to select it. Go back here. Okay. So now I wanted it to pull that information. Okay, and I'm like, oh, well, I forgot Minnie Mouse. So since this isn't formatted as a table, it didn't automatically pull her, but all I have to do is just go in, select or get that little double arrow, pull down, and now she's added into the table. So adding information is really, really simple. Formatting is really simple. I know that it can be, like I said, overwhelming and it's a lot, but it is a really neat tool to be able to visually look at all your data. Because when you have several students and you have all your grades across, it's nice to be able to just look at something really quick and be able to pinpoint, hey, right now, Donald Duck is not doing well in this area right here. Or who is this? This is actually Mickey Mouse. So Mickey Mouse is having trouble on doing this. I think they're really, really good. And like I said, if you ever have to do a presentation or you ever have to submit reports, graphs and charts are really good to put in there for people to see information visually. So with that being said, does anyone have any questions with anything? No?
I love it. I think I could see how a teacher could use this for parent conference,
Mhm.
for student to student conference, so they can see it visually. That would be helpful.
Yeah, yes, that's a good idea. I didn't even think of that. So that you could really play around and just look at tons of information versus, like I said, having to go number by number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and put links to our REC website TechBits page and to our YouTube channel. So at any time you can go to either the website or the YouTube channel. You can see the recording of this training and all of our other past trainings. And you can also see links to our future trainings. Okay, so let me go and those links in the chat. Okay. So there's the link to the YouTube channel. And here's the link for our website. Okay. Well, that's it. And I appreciate you guys joining me today. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.